Chapter 10. The Patricide. Zelenko Blackstone was looking at the beast-like ugly creature, the result of his affair with Arila. The 3-month-old was a hostile and a fearsome animal who grunted with an unpleasant roar whenever something upset him. Even more sickening was that the creature seemed to prefer raw meat over milk. What kind of baby was this? Zelenko looked at the baby whom he had named Thorax Zelenkom. As much as he wanted the child to reflect on his greatness, he could not admit fatherhood to the child. Yet it was the baby that the seeress Ahana Anchalan had foreseen as the chosen one while on her deathbed. As Zelenko studied his progeny, Thorax's eye color changed from dark purple to glowing blue, the same color as the primordial Zeto crystal. This transformation had happened a few times, and whenever this happened, the baby would utter a word or two in a zen state before regressing to his beast-like behavior.
Zelenko, Zeto crystal, save Arila,
Thorax said in an echoing sound, as if he was receiving messages from a faraway source. Zelenko massaged his temple. Was he going insane, or had the animal-like baby given him a prophetical message from the Tree Maker? He knew one thing. If he were to save Arila Kiran, he needed to hurry up as she was due for execution by sunset. I need to find the truth, Zelenko thought to himself and headed towards the underground vault where his father Siblex hid the primordial Zeto crystal. Arila was raving mad in her prison cell. She had lost everything, and the city council would execute her for a crime she committed in self-defense. Although she had tried to reveal the truth about Sialiap's experiments and that he used his power of attorney to alter her unborn baby's DNA, no one had listened to her. Quite the opposite. During the mock trial, Judge Jasper Javanom had been inside her head and blasted her with the psionic energy every time she was about to say something. These actions had made her words come out as incoherent nonsense. The secret telepathic and psionic powers that the Zetan leadership possessed were terrifying forces they used to dominate their subjects. Arila had lived in ignorance for the first 200 years of her life, and the last year had been an endless nightmare. "Let me out, you bastards! I'm innocent! Judge Javanom was inside my head during the trial to discredit me," Arila shouted and kept banging on the cell door. No one came to answer the door, and she collapsed to the floor with tears flooding down her cheeks. She was inconsolable as she was due for execution and had given birth to a monster. Kylo, I have some good news. Kylo looked at Jasper, who approached him in his prison cell. Why had the judge who sentenced him to imprisonment and exile come to talk to him? "What is it?" Kylo asked. "I'm giving you permissions to participate in today's autumn equinox celebration," Jasper replied. "Why is that?" Kylo asked. "Arila will face public execution today. I want you to be in the front row. I want the two of you to suffer for what you did to my brother," Jasper taunted. "Fuck you! I'm not going anywhere," Kylo exclaimed. Jasper blasted Kylo into a wall with his powers and mocked. "Oh, did that hurt? Learn to respect your betters, and it will happen less often." Having said this, Jasper left the room and 2 guards entered. They handcuffed Kylo and dragged him away.
Access denied.
Zelenko swore to himself as he failed to open the electronic lock to the secret bunker where the Zetan leadership kept the Zetani Zeto crystal. Officially, the primordial Zeto crystal was on display at the top of a sculpture in central Runesia. However, the crystal was a worthless prop. Society could not allow every Zetan to unlock their inner potential because that would make a master and a servant indistinguishable.
please let me try.
Zelenko looked at baby Thorax, whom he held in his arm. The baby's eyes were glowing blue, and the baby looked wise beyond his years. "Okay," Zelenko said as he moved baby Thorax closer to the touchpad and the biometric lock of the bunker. Thorax put his hand on the biometric scanner and typed in the code.
Access granted.
Appeared on the display, and the heavy vault doors slid open.
Put me down. We'll move quicker on foot,
Thorax said and rushed ahead as Zelenko put him down. Zelenko stared in amazement at the lizard-like baby. What kind of devilry was this? Why could his 3-month-old baby walk and talk?
Hurry up, we don't have all day,
Thorax exclaimed, which got Zelenko to spring into action. They rushed down a corridor and reached the inner fort, where the city council kept the Zito crystal and other priceless treasures.
Lift me. I cannot reach the control panel,
Thorax instructed. Zelenko did as instructed, and Thorax opened the door to the vault. Zelenko felt mesmerized when he looked at the primordial Zito crystal. It was the second time in his life that he saw such a beautiful crystal. He first saw it during his Barjadung adulthood ceremony when he had turned 100 years old. He had touched the crystal, and it had unlocked his innate abilities. It was the initiation ceremony to become one of the few members in the Master Caste. Anyone who had their innate telepathy, premonitions, and psionic powers unleashed had an enormous advantage on other Zetans in their day-to-day lives.
Grab those sapphires,
Thorax instructed and pointed to some beautiful gemstones. Why? Zelenko asked.
She has shown me the way.
When our consciousness linked, I found a way to replicate the power of the Zito crystal. Those sapphires should suffice as vessels for its power, Thorax revealed. Zelenko hesitated. It was insane that he considered taking instruction from the 3-month-old freak next to him. But then again, he had dreamt of fathering the Chosen One, which had to have a higher purpose. Zelenko picked up a few sapphires and spoke. I got the sapphires. What now?
Now, hold the sapphires close to the Zito crystal and utter the following phrase. Gom Dao, Gom Dia, Gom Wundung, Mua Zetani.
Which means, for the past, for the present, for the future, my Zetani. Zelenko did as his son commanded, and the room lit up as immense energy streamed from the Zito crystal to the sapphires, making them shine almost as bright as the crystal.
Zelenko Siblaxom, what are you doing in our sacred vault?
Zelenko turned around and he saw his father, Siblex Valsom, accompanied by 2 security officers. The looks on their faces indicated that this could lead to a confrontation. Thorax told me to come here. I needed to power up these sapphires and save Arila, Zelenko replied.
Thorax? Have you lost your mind? There is no way your freaky son would tell you anything. He is only 3 months old,
Siblex replied. You tell him, Thorax, Zelenko exclaimed.
Growl!
Thorax replied in confusion. Zelenko turned to his son. The shining blue light in his eyes was now gone, and he had reverted to his beast-like mannerisms. He spoke to me before, I promise, Zelenko mumbled. Son, everything is going to be okay. Come with me, and we take you somewhere outside of public view until we have resolved this nasty Arila business, Siblex replied. No, you cannot execute her. She saved me, Zelenko mumbled. Who cares? She murdered a council member, and his brother took his place. We cannot pardon this criminal or admit your crimes. Her life is forfeit, Siblex stated. No, Zelenko exclaimed, and released an uncontrolled psionic blast in front of him. The shockwave was strong enough to slice his father and the security officers in half. Zelenko stared in shock at the scene. What had he done? He kneeled next to his father and exclaimed, Father, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. Siblex opened his eyes and wheezed.
Zelenko, you have doomed us all.
Those were the last words of Siblex Valsom, the 21st mayor of Rhodesia during the 5th Age.